morning. I am finishing my breakfast. Me and Alex are in the gym. We're gonna hit it's an upper body day. It's Wednesday on the new Summer Shred Challenge, and it's our brand new program. And I've been trying to think, like, what am I gonna do today that's entertaining, that you guys would potentially enjoy watching? But also I don't wanna try so hard that I'm just doing things today, so I'm showing you all the best things as if my life is so glamorous and fun all the time. So we're not. We're gonna work out. I've gotta head over to my grandma's house. My dad, that son of a gun, he did it on his own, but he got our round pen built. So the round pen is for me to work my horse. We hadn't had one of our own. I've been using a friend of mine's that I'm learning to train with her. So we got it built. I've got to go over. Yesterday I bought a couple 100-foot hoses. I got a sprinkler. I got to go over and water it down and make sure that all works. And then we're gonna go get the trailer. We're gonna go pick up Kitten. We're gonna maybe take Ollie as well. The goal for me is to start getting all of the horses over there and get them in the round pen and get them working and get them moving. Then take her back, and honestly, that's as far as I've got. And then we'll go from there. The rest is honestly, it's as a surprise to you as it is to me. So we'll start here. We're doing some speed bench, Penley row, barbell overhead press, snatch grip behind the neck press. I'm gonna do just barbell behind the neck. Face pulls with a band, dumbbell overhead press, single arm, seated lateral raise, double arm, dumbbell curl, incline dumbbell skull crusher, dumbbell shrug, banded hammer curl, triangle push-ups, bent over Y raise, and that's it. It is a big day. So we're just gonna get going. Try and get in and get out as fast as we can with completing the whole workout. Let's go. All right, guys, I just finished up doing my little accessory work or my rehab. I use the crossover, sorry, I'm fixing my shirt. I use crossover symmetry bands. I just ordered some new ones. I used to use them when I was competing quite a bit for a warm-up every day. I don't work for the company. I'm not affiliated with the company, so I'm definitely not gonna give you the best description. You guys can check them out online. But as far as what I've known about the company and what they do since the first time I was introduced to them, which was at like a CrossFit competition years ago, I'm pretty sure they started out more in like baseball, especially baseball, because it's just that repetitive movement, that aggressive throwing and like pitchers that tend to, over time, really wear out that rotator cuff and everything in their upper body. So it's all about working those stabilizer muscles. It's about strengthening your lats, strengthening all of those little muscles down your thoracic, delts, down in here. I don't know what all the names of those muscles are. I used to, but I don't anymore. For me, and especially in CrossFit, we do a lot from the front. I'm sure some of you have seen, maybe you know people that do CrossFit style training, or maybe they go to a CrossFit gym or whatever, and they might be really built, so big shoulders, but you might notice, I'll show you, that their shoulders tend to sit sort of like this. Like they got big front delts, and they've, maybe you're lacking a little bit back in that rear delt. We do stuff from the back too, but not in competition unless you're doing a jerk from behind the neck, which you're gonna see in our training today. We're gonna do behind the neck press. So, take your time doing accessory work. And lucky for you, if you're doing this new program we got going, and honestly, any of our programs, Jake Hutton, my business partner, and the genius behind seeing our whole big picture of programs, he understands that, and he is the king of accessory work and recovering from injury. So if you are on our program, you are in great hands. And now, let's get back into it because we got a lot to do. All right, first up, we're doing speed bench with a pause at the bottom, explode up. 5 sets of 3. The most important part is the explosive part. It's not how much weight's on the bar. So you're gonna use a weight that you can do all your reps, but you can be very, very explosive on the drive up. All right, so we are also doing it with a superset. So we're gonna do the speed bench into a Penley row, same rep scheme. So it's gonna be 3 speed bench, 3 Penley row. And you'll see it, obviously, what that looks like when I do it. And if you're following this program and you see it on the app, we have videos of every movement and workout descriptions in video form as well to help you be as successful as possible. right, y'all, next up, we're doing barbell press. So from the front rack, and it's a 3-part, but we have rest in between. So we're gonna go barbell press into a behind the neck snatch grip barbell press into banded face pulls. Obviously, there's a lot of nuances, okay? And I'm not gonna get into all of them, or me and Alex will never get this workout done. But thinking about hand position, wrist position, if my bar is vertical like this, if my wrist is vertical, not my bar, if my wrist is vertical, you can see that is putting, my thumb is in a compromised position. This joint ends up taking a lot of that load. What we want is our structure, our body, our whole forearm to take that load. So I don't wanna be flexed. So if you're someone who's really, really tight and you can barely hold the bar and so it kind of sits in your fingertips, that's where you are. Think about where you want to be. Don't ever just be okay with this being the best you got. It is the best you got right now, but it's not good long term. It's not going to equate to big gains and better movement and better flexibility, better position, strengthen your position. It's not gonna go there. So you wanna think about what is the position I'm working towards, and then every time you train, you think about that and you try and get closer and closer and closer to where we want you to be. All right, guys, so next up we're doing a superset, so you'll rest after both movements. We're gonna do a single arm dumbbell press. So we'll go, the reps are the same, so it's gonna go 12, 10, 8, 3 rounds. So it'll be 12 on the right, 12 on the left. Next one, 10, 10, 8, 8. We're gonna superset that with a seated lateral raise, seated position. And the rest is 90 seconds between sets. All right, guys, next up we are doing a tricep. Whew, sorry, it's a lot. So we are going to be doing, double arm dumbbell curls into a incline bench skull crusher with dumbbells into a single arm shrug. And the reps are gonna be the exact same as our last superset, 12, 10, 8. So it's 3 rounds, reps go down each time. That means that your weight can go up at your discretion. All right, we're moving on to our last portion of our lifting today. It's a triplet. We are doing a banded hammer curl into triangle push-ups. With a triangle push-up, if you can increase difficulty, you're gonna have a partner add weight to your back. So you can set a plate on your back. You'd put it like right up in that thoracic, not up on your neck and not down on your low back, all right? So right here where it's kind of across where your arms are at. And then we're finishing it off with a bent over Y raise. This is a humbling exercise. I'm sure if you've done the program, you've also seen us do a Y raise on an incline bench where you're laying on the incline bench. You're doing the same thing. This is for those little stabilizer muscles. If you are doing it correctly, no matter how strong you are, you really may surprise yourself how hard this movement is. So we're gonna go from that bent over position. I want the shoulder, if you can see how my arms are hanging, so my shoulders are kind of forward. And to be honest with you, I was watching, if you guys are in the app, there's a video of me doing these and I'm like cueing myself. This is what I want you to do. Bent over, tight body, flat back, and instead of letting it just come from here, I want you to put those scalps in a good position. So instead of letting them hang, you can start from a hang, Sometimes for me, I come from here and in the, my legs are shaking. In the middle of my set, you might see me reset by letting them hang. So mentally, for me, it's finding that position and I'm trying to ingrain that position so it becomes second nature and I never have to deal with being in a poor position. So it's that bend over, set those scaps, and then we're gonna come up to a Y and back down. If you would like to keep working that position, you'd come to a Y, come down, release. Set, Y, come down, release. Wow, that's hard. Everything is working. So, 20 hammer curls, 20 triangle push-ups, 20 bent over Y raise. All right, guys, that's it. That's not it for the training session. If you look at the app, if you guys are following the program already, you'll notice that on this day, or maybe on some of your days like this, there is LIST cardio, which is steady state cardio. Today it is for 20 minutes. I'm not doing that because for my cardio, I'm gonna be working my horse. And it is an active mentally and physically, very mentally. Usually by the end of it, I'm exhausted, she's exhausted. But we're gonna clean up here, we're gonna head to my house. I'm gonna get changed. And then we're heading over to my grandma's, actually, where my dad, we've got our round pen set up, and I've got to set up the hoses, the sprinkler, and I gotta start watering. We gotta water some dirt. And then we're gonna go pick up my horse and head back over and see what kind of attitude she's gonna bring to today's play date. So let's get out of here and go water some dirt. We are out at my grandmother's house and my dad just got here too. He's got the round pen set up, all of it's leveled. All of that might mean absolutely nothing to you, but you're gonna see it in just a minute. And what we're gonna do, we gotta get the hoses hooked up, the sprinkler hooked up to the water, and start wetting down all the dirt in the round pen, because right now it's just, it's really nice, soft, fluffy dirt, and we gotta keep it wet to keep the dust down. Anyways, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wet it down, and then we're gonna load up, we're gonna head, I gotta drop something off to Sunny. You guys remember Sunny Hutton, my friend, business partner? And then we're gonna go pick up my horse and bring her out and put her in the round pen. You guys will get to see a little bit of me working her, and it's really such a learning experience. It's learning for her, it's going to school, and it's also going to school for me. It's me constantly not only knowing how to work her, but it is mentally challenging because I'm getting better at being able to notice all the little things, the nuances that a horse will show you based off of looking at their mouth, their ears, their feet, their hind end, their butt, all the above, that you can tell how they feel. You can tell if they're paying attention to you, they're locked in and they're ready to learn, or if they're just on, like what my friend Joanne says, on like robot mode, where they're just doing whatever, but they're out here. And when they're not paying attention to me, when Kitten's not locked in on me, she's running the show. So it's this back and forth of her learning that I run the show. So let's go water some dirt. Step 1, attach hose to spout. Step 2, stretch out hose, 100 foot. Step 3, attach hose to hose. This thing needs to be, once it gets a little hot, it'll straighten out. Nifty. This dirt it's really powdery and pillowy, soft and fluffy. You don't want all the dust, kicking all the dust up. One, when you're training or you're working with a horse, if it's too dusty, you're breathing it in, that sucks. And you can't really see, and it's in your eyes. But even more than that, it's hot. So you don't want the dirt to be, if it's super dry, it's dry on their feet, on their hooves, and dries out their feet. And on top of that, it's my uncle's house right here, and we've got volleyball, and which that's already sand, but the pickleball, tennis area in the pool, all that dust in the air is just gonna end up going everywhere, and then we gotta keep it nice so my dad's brother doesn't make us take it down. I mean, my grandma would let me keep it up. We passed her house when we were coming in. Well, we let this get a nice wet crust on it. Then it's got to dry out. So we'll let it go for a bit. Realistically, we'll let it go until my dad says that's good. I'll turn it off. And then pick up Kitten and bring her out and just work her for like half hour. And we'll see how it goes. As you can hear and see, there's been a change of plans. Some light rain was coming through, and it's turned into way more than light rain. So Kitten, my horse, she's super spooked in the back. There's lightning, a little bit, a little thunder, and the rain will not subside. We were giving it a little bit of time because it had subsided, and I went out and checked the round pen, and it's not super saturated, but I said, let's give it 5 minutes, and then we would, it should stop. And Alex actually checked a weather app just to kind of see where it's moving. But I'm thinking, as hard as it's coming down, by the time it does stop, it'll be too wet in there to put her in there. If it's like really wet, she can trip, she could hurt herself, but also it's just gonna get stuck up in her hooves. I already have to clean out poop out of there. So we're gonna head back, we're gonna put her away, get them fed, and then we are going to, we're gonna do this tomorrow. But we're not gonna be at our round pen tomorrow. I'm actually going up to a little bit north of town and gonna work with, her name's Joanne Bradley, a friend of mine, and my dad's known her for years. She used to ride our horses and my grandpa's horses. She's a horse trainer. So we're gonna pick this back up tomorrow. It's not raining. So for now, and how sad, I went and picked up my cute niece. She's in the back of the truck. You gotta show her because she likes to be on my vlogs. We're gonna have a little bit of fun, a little outdoor fun. We'll see you guys, well for you, we'll see you in like 10 seconds. For us, we'll see you tomorrow. Just so you know, we've tried to finally get this portion of the video done, but it's been raining. So we're finally up here with Joanne Bradley, and this is the woman who, she used to ride and work my grandpa's horses, my dad's horses, and now she's training me, and we're training Kitten. She's training me to train horses, and specifically Kitten. She's doing really good today, but there's a lot. Anytime there's a lot going on, it's like we got the camera here today, takes her focus away. And when that happens, her head's out of the game. So I was out there, this is a clover pattern, and we've been working it, walking it, trotting it, and you basically do circles into the center one, and then you rotate. And we'll do both sides. And then what Joanne was having me work on just barely, but it was just really difficult because everything going on, is we're getting her to pay attention to me. So in the round pen, it's for her to pace me versus me pacing her. If I'm pacing her, she's in charge. She needs to pace me, and she has to want to pace me, right? So to do that, she has to be paying attention to where I am the whole time. And that's where I was telling you guys in the car, you know, it's so much work for me. This is like learning for me, because I have to know what I'm doing, but I have to pay close attention to any amount of nuance that she could give me. Any tiny bit of effort to what we're asking her to do, I have to pay attention. I have to see that, because if she gives me, let's say like you guys saw, we're doing all the different gaits and then get into a walk, and then the goal is to get her to bend. So give me her hip. So she should always be stepping her hips away from me, never toward me. If they're coming toward me and she's keeping her hind end really stiff, it's not good. That's where they could really ruin your day. Puts them in a good position for kicking and bucking, all that good stuff. But bending is, like Joanne says, being soft. Like me standing next to her, where like I would be on the saddle, and asking her to be soft, she'll turn, she curves. She turns her head into me, and that's what we're looking for. So like the tiny amount of give, I have to be able to feel it and recognize it, even if it's like the smallest amount. So if there's times when I don't recognize it, then she gets confused. She can get confused for what I'm asking her to do. And so that's why, I mean, it's really, I always pick her up and tell her we're going to school, but really I'm going to school. By the time I'm done working her, it's like I'm mentally exhausted. Physically, I break a sweat, which is a great thing. But I tapped out and I had Joanne go in just because I was having a really hard time getting her to pace me on the clover pattern, just all things considered. So I wanted her to work with someone who really knows how to do it. I'm learning, but I'm getting better. A little bit of attitude, but that was, she went the one direction, I let her go that way, but she was stopping to look for me that time. So now I'm gonna see if she'll take a little bit of direction. Good girl. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Yeah, you can have it. Good job. That was good. I didn't pull very long at all. As you can see, more times than not, she saves it for when we get back in the trailer. Pee, I don't care about poop. We'll get home, there'll be poop in there, and I clean it out. But when she pees, it's a lot of pee. It's a horse. Horse, of course, full of pee. And she drinks so much water. I mean, it's hot, right? And it's dry, but she drinks more water than any of the other horses. It's insane. I mean, I'm also very thirsty, so makes sense. All right, we're gonna head on back to the corrals, put her away, feed, fill water, and then that's it. And then go shower and go to bed. More than likely, this is what I'm really invested in, along with many other things, but like, I hope everyone watching this enjoys all the horse content, because, well, this is me. This is what I love. So hang out, and hopefully you'll get to watch me progress and Kitten progress, which will be very cool. And then one day, me and Joanne are gonna, I'm finally gonna get to go and show and do what I'd like to do is the National Reining Cow Horse Association, NRCHA. We'll see you there one day. All right, let's go. Let's go home and get her home and feed her because she's starving. I mean, she's always hungry, but it is past the time when I usually feed, so.